Hello everyone, it's Leon here. I'm joined by Meeks.
Hello.
Who has reviewed inFamous Second Son. I should say now, before we go any further, there will be some spoilers. We're going to be talking about some of the other powers in the game and maybe a few plot points. Not anything hugely ruinous, but if you don't want to know what the powers are, you should probably stop listening now, come back later.
And if I sound unenthused, it's not because I don't like the game, it's just because I've got quite a bad dose of man flu. So,
yeah, so Meeks is pretending to be ill. Anyway, you gave it, what?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I played it as well, I finished it, so we're both fairly qualified to talk about it. What are its strong points?
So, strong points, it looks excellent. I think after Ground Zeroes, it's probably the best looking thing you can buy in PS4 just now. Lighting, textures, character models, especially the kind of facial capture during cutscenes, all looks, properly next gen.
Yeah, the acting is just beautifully represented.
It's not always entirely stable frame rate wise. I mean, it is usually a pretty consistent 30, but when you're kind of fighting the DUP and there are a lot of enemies on screen, there are the occasional dip, but generally it's
very
a
rare though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is rare, and it's a very technically accomplished game. Other than that, the powers are absolutely brilliant. It's probably one of maybe the best hero game I've ever played, just for powers. I said this in another video, it's not the best super game I've ever played, and certainly I think that still goes to probably Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, but in terms of just the fun of controlling a character on a minute basis in a superhero game, it's absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
So.
We're seeing you like zipping around. I mean, it's that sense of freedom as you shoot around the city is so beautifully done, and also the powers are really well balanced where you don't notice necessarily moment to moment you're getting more powerful.
Yeah, it's quite organic.
Suddenly you find yourself able to like cover miles of the city, and then battles that were initially quite daunting become easy as you take out like hundreds of people and destroy buildings. I never noticed when we were capturing this that you hop from one train to the other. I love this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the world is lovely to be in and sort of hang around. That's probably actually one of its strongest points, I think, is just exploring, running into trouble, maybe triggering an alert and having to deal with some guards. Just that sort of rolling around the world is a beautiful experience.
And I must say, it's made me really want to visit Seattle as well. I've always wanted to visit Seattle, but apart from the odd Pacific Northwest show or 20 that seems to besiege the game in the first couple of hours, it's just a beautifully realised city. It's so refreshing to play in an environment that isn't like New York or LA. Like I've played so many apocalyptic versions of New York. It's just lovely to be in a new city, and obviously it's been rendered with a real love and level of detail because Sucker Punch is based in Seattle, so you can really tell the attention and care that's gone into the city, and it just makes it a really pleasurable place to kind of spend 10 to 12 hours, especially because there's such a harmony between your powers and how they kind of blend in with traversing that environment. So.
Well, let's talk about powers now. So definitely last chance if you don't want to know what the powers are. What I should say, two of the things that disappointed me a little were the length of the game, because if you're going to sit down and play a couple of lengthy sessions, I finished it in a Friday afternoon a Friday night and a Saturday afternoon. 2 sessions I'd completed it. I immediately started playing it again on the horrible mode, like I did nice, then I did nasty. But so it's very short, and powers wise, pretty much you only really get smoke and neon than what they've shown off. They sort of alluded to more, and you get this ridiculous video game power, and then the fourth power you get,
you've got such an axe to grind against.
I hate that video game power, but the fourth power you get is your sort of reward for completing the game. So when you finally get all 4 powers, you've finished the game and you're put back into the world with really nothing to do except fight DUP and clear people out. So that I found a little bit disappointing. This bit I did like. So you can spray paint tags around the world to kind of mark your progress. They're like little collectibles, and I actually quite enjoyed this. I thought it's a stupid little thing, but it was fun.
Yeah, if you like faffing about with the DualShock 4 in strange positions or pretending it's a spray paint can, you'll go wild. I must say,
so powers, you
good back in the powers. I liked video. I mean, it is preposterous.
It makes no sense.
Essentially, it's a man who. Like it's a little kid who thinks
it's a man who was bullied,
from the Matrix.
He found sort of like comfort in video games. So when he becomes a conduit, all these powers are video game themed. So he conjures up like World of Warcraft angels and swords, which sort of maybe makes sense to him, but then Delsin inherits that.
It's a MacGuffin. It's basically
Yeah.
it's a nonsensical MacGuffin. But in practice, during battles, it's actually quite useful because with video, you can make yourself invisible and kind of get around the back enemies and take them out.
Yeah, it functions really nicely.
Oh,
but
it basically allows you to fly. I mean, it gives you a pair of wings. And
logically
you can glide
makes
for ages,
no
which is
difference
really fun.
whatsoever.
Granite, which is
It's concrete. Isn't it?
Concrete, yeah. Concrete granite.
So that's the one you get for
the one you get right
finishing
at
the
the end,
game, essentially.
It's actually really good fun. I mean, it lets you kind of levitate with a swirling pool of rocks at your
Yeah.
feet. You can essentially turn into the thing and run for ever if you live up
And
to a high enough degree.
They upgrade really nicely, and you can sort of. There's some really nice touches with the upgrades. So with say smoke and with neon, you can. Well, smoke you get headshots that will be like insta stuns. Neon you get the sort of the time
Slow
dilation.
motion
Yeah, and
targeting where you
can trap them by shooting their legs or obliterate them by shooting their heads.
And that does tie in the Karm as well. Neon
Yeah.
especially, it gives you the option of a kind of one hit execution headshot or taking them out passively with shots to the knees, like we've just seen there.
I mean, I played pretty much my first playthrough was almost 90% neon because it is, for me at the time, it was the most useful power. When I went back and played it evil, for Evil Karma, I found smoke actually was more powerful. I think there was a few subtle differences in the upgrades. Nothing huge. It's not really.
It's really annoying that bit. Like getting you have to liberate each district of Seattle from DUP control, and they're basically all these big trucks that you have to essentially pull up on the touchpad and then just bash away an R2. But you have to hold the touchpad while you're doing it. While 50 men are shooting in the faces.
Well, no, you kill them all first. That's the point.
Irritating.
This is Fetch, who I really liked. She's another conduit. You get your neon powers off. And one of the things you can actually do is you can, when you meet certain conduits, you can choose to corrupt or save them. And that influences both your karma and the mission. So you get, this is a mission you only get if you corrupt Fetch and choose an evil path, which is you go around and kill a bunch of anti-conduit protesters. If you choose to save her, I think you go and bust up some drug dealers. And
the drug dealer one was the one I did down in the docks.
So there is, I mean, while it's short, there is a bit of a replay value to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely set up that you could do 2 playthroughs.
I mean, I enjoyed going straight back in and playing Evil because it did feel like there was a bit of extra content there and I wanted to see other powers, and I enjoyed the world. But anyway, so you gave it 8 out of 10. Pros, it's fantastic looking, it's great super hearing. What were your cons?
The story missions aren't particularly memorable. You know, it doesn't have the same set pieces or scale of inFamous 2, but yeah, it's still a very good game and I definitely recommend it. So,
Okay, thank you very much.